4, 3, 2, live from Giza, Cairo, and somewhere in Sino, you mothers, Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 857 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison.
And I, of course, am John.
That's right. So we have a fun show tonight. We're doing an Egyptian-themed episode. We're going to answer the very important question, should John watch The Mummy? Because of last week, okay?
We're dedicating this entire episode to the question.
That's right.
Is The Mummy a good movie?
Yeah, we're playing Egyptian games. We're talking to an Egyptian expert. And, I have to address the feedback from last week's show.
Yeah.
We got so many people reaching out to us, Twitter, email, voicemail. We're not going to play or talk about any of it because basically half of our listeners are saying shit about Matt. Half of our listeners are saying shit about you. And at the end of the day, you guys are fine. You're laughing about it. You guys need to not take this so personally out there to those listeners who are. My favorite were the ones that said, John, you're a bully, but you need to shut the fuck up. You're annoying, a bad dad, a bad friend, an asshole, not funny, jealous, inferior, and autistic. Signed a guy who just wants people to be nice to each other. It's always like, you're a bully, but I'm going to insult you. Like, Matt doesn't think any of these things about John.
I talked to Matt today. Everything's fine,
they talked
okay?
Already. They talked last week.
Listen, Matt wanted to talk. I interrupted him one too many times, and he left. That's it, okay?
That's it. It's not a big deal.
There was nothing personal. There was nothing...
Somebody
really
said John needs to take
that...
time off to reflect. I mean, have you guys been listening to the show for 20 years? That was harmless. Nothing personal was said. It was John being an ass as usual. I get the feedback of people telling you to shut the fuck up. I agree. But
now listen,
the personal attacks shouldn't be out there.
I did watch The Mummy.
Okay.
For the first time in my life. And that's true.
Yes.
You gotta understand too, when you want to talk about it or save it? We'll save it.
Let's save it.
I just want to say, though, yes, I never saw it because Cranky's saying, or DJ is, or someone is, that no one has not seen The Mummy. Mm-hmm. I never saw it. You want to know why? Because it seemed like a ripoff Indiana Jones to me, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Because Raiders is way up here to me, for me, So.
Yeah. I probably saw it. I've heard The Mummy Returns is better. I only watched the first one. So
is that true?
Yeah, people are saying it. I don't know. So we're going to talk about fun stuff tonight. Like I said, Egyptian games and talking to somebody. And, we've got regular gaming news. It's a regular show. Matt will be back next week.
No,
Nothing's wrong.
Honestly, this is an exciting episode where we all played, like Michelle said, we played Egyptian games, and we have a gentleman from Egypt, I shit you not, coming on. Hopefully it all works out.
He's touched the pyramids. He's very familiar with them. He's got some thoughts. Also, John, and some people are taking issue with this, but this is episode 857. Now, I don't know if you know, but the number 142857 is carved into the Egyptian pyramids.
Oh my God.
Now, some are debating why. Is it because it's like a right angle thing with a certain triangle? Does it mean something else?
It's
142857. Now, it's episode 857. Now, what does the 142 mean? Well, I think Matt's 42 years old, so there's one 42-year-old who's not here tonight.
142-year-old.
That's right, but 857, I think it works. Or maybe that's it's not anybody's weight on the show, unfortunately. I don't know what the 142 means. Probably nothing. But the reality is 857, John.
142857, it's each equal part value of right angle side.
Mm-hmm.
An isosceles right triangle and hypotenuse.
Well, it's carved not only in the pyramids, but also paintings and artifacts in the pyramid have this number written. Now, when you multiply any of those numbers from 1 through 6, like it does some weird repeating sequence or something too. I mean, I don't know. Math is interesting. It's a universal truth. Obviously, numerology is bullshit. Just because you were born on a certain day doesn't mean you have a certain personality. But there's definitely cool stuff with figuring out like what it, Doc Dar is saying, hypotensile. Cool stuff with the number itself. So we're going to maybe ask our guest about some of this stuff or what they think about it.
Hypotenuse.
Yep. The only math I need is you plus me equals us. Jobber says, oh my God, I remember that song. That's funny. So yeah, John, you bully, you autistic bad father. Okay, are you ready to get all of this Egyptian shit out of your system so when Matt comes back next week, you can,
What?
Be a decent human being? Because you're just a bad human being, okay? You got lectured, all right? We had people yelling at you, very upset. very upset with you, John. Shame, okay? Shame.
I just wanted to know if The Mummy was a good movie.
That's right. Lighten up.
And we're going to answer
Matt
it.
and John are laughing. You guys need to lighten up out there. I read some crazy things this week against both of these guys, So chill out. It's VGO. You guys used to scream and yell at each other. That's the way it goes. It's all for entertainment. I wanted to ask you before we get started, kind of what's your favorite Egyptian game ever? Was there one that stood out? Not that you played it tonight, but did you ever have one or that you...
Actually, the Prince of Persia game on the GameCube.
Now, does that technically count? Did that one take place in Egypt?
I don't know. The Persians took over Egypt, right?
Sure, there's a loose connection. I mean, when I was young, I played a game called The Dagger of Amun-Ra. It was a Sierra game, a Laura Bao mystery game, the sequel to Colonel's Bequest, and I really liked that. You were in an old museum and hunting through artifacts and things like that. Sands
so
of
what
Time,
was that game,
Audrey
Michelle?
says. It's called The Dagger of Amun-Ra. It's an old Sierra adventure game. I played all of them, and I remember this one was a pretty cool game, all about Egyptian history. And
there was a game that I played called Caverns of Kafka. Mm-hmm. You ever heard of that one?
I don't think you have played that game. I think you just Googled Egyptian games or something.
What, Caverns of Kafka? Me?
Yeah.
No, I absolutely played that game.
Is Titan Quest Egyptian, Doctor? I thought that was based on Greek mythology, which I know is basically the same. I mean, Cleopatra was Greek, or she was black, according to Netflix, whatever you want to go with.
Caverns of Kafka was released in 1983 on the Atari 8-bit computer, which I had.
Okay. Now, were you into that game?
I think I was. Yeah, it was kind of like a platformer, Jumpman style game.
Okay.
Remember Montezuma's Revenge and all that.
Oh yeah,
shit?
I
it was like one of those type games.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what other. I don't know why, but that Prince of Persia game, Sands of Time, I think it was called, on the GameCube, that comes to mind. And then I remember being very confused when Assassin's Creed came out because I felt like, well, isn't this just Prince of Persia?
Right.
What?
You just sounded a little slurpy. You're like,
for me?
Yeah, you're drooling over there. You're so excited to talk about Egypt and the Mummy tonight. I think you are. You're very juicy. Yeah, I think you are. But I forgot to say our drill. We're live right now on videogameoutsiders.com. We do it every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. And if you miss it, like most of you do, you can listen anywhere podcasts are, as well as our app where we do bonus shows during the week. Some are free and some are premium. John, we do Micro VGO. We do PC Outsiders. Netflix Outsiders. We've done all sorts of fun stuff on the app. And it's also a good way to support us for $1.99 a month. You get the whole back catalog of all of our shows, not just the last few ones, which you'll get on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. So how do they do that, John?
That's right. Go to our website at videogameoutsiders.com. There is a red button there. Go ahead and click it, lick it, slam it, whatever you need to do. Just go premium and go to the next page and sign up. It's $1.99 a month. Once you go premium, you unlock our entire back catalog of almost 20 years. Yeah.
That's right.
Really. Seriously.
Next summer, and we're going to be celebrating, hopefully in a very cool way. We'll see if it works out.
Yes. We're going to have a bounce house. We're going to get a bounce house, and we're going to all meet in a park.
That was like a castle. I've talked about this before, but I love those bouncy castles. And I also love the ball pit in Chuck E. Cheese. Now, my mother wouldn't let me go in there because she said kids were peeing in the balls. She said it was dirty and it was for dirty children.
I'm aware of this.
Yeah. Did you remember it was like a famous case where some kid peed in the balls?
I worked there. But yes, I remember that always being there's poop, there's diarrhea.
You didn't know what was under the balls, those plastic balls. My mom was very concerned about the balls.
Well, you got a bunch of peeing crybabies in there. Right?
Yeah.
And there's always a kid that was stuck in there.
Right.
Like the
just
mom
getting stomped on. It's a pretty bad idea if you think about it. Just toddlers in the middle of a ball pit. You can't see them. And then there's always the dad that goes in when he shouldn't. I'm the cool dad. There's some fat guy jumping on children. I know. I don't know.
But when I was super young, that was the most impossibly amazing thing. Jumping into a thing of balls, right?
But what if some sickle put blades in there or something? I'd never do that now. As a kid, I was more fearless than I am now. Now I'd be I'm not going in that dirty ball pit. What was I doing? When you're a kid, you don't care.
Do they still have Chuck E. Cheese ball pits?
I don't know. I only went to Chuck E. Cheese during birthday parties. It wasn't a place we went to. We went to mom and pop pizza shops.
The one I remember going to had an endless, it was a serious ball pit. Mm-hmm. One where you could lose a child.
Yeah.
And I think eventually they became just little wading pools, no big deal. Right?
Yeah, and then you'd go to a birthday party at Burger King and they had a half-ass ball pit. You
Yes.
know, and it just didn't feel the same. That Chuck E. Cheese ball pit was crazy, and I would never.
It was
do
next
now.
level.
It was crazy. All right,
In
well,
showbiz.
let's move on to some games.
John, and then go premium, $1.99 a month. We do extra shows every week, by the way. Micro
Yes.
VGO, John shows on the app,
Mm-hmm.
PC Outsiders, Netflix Outsiders, whatever. There's stuff happening besides these regularly
You can
scheduled
listen
shows.
to it on the app or on the web as well. And also our community does free shows. CC Games does a show. Sometimes people in the Discord do a show. So, and you can do a show too if you want. So come on down to the Discord at videogameoutsiders.com and inquire about that. All right, John, now you were kind enough to gift me a game because you wanted to convince me to do this episode, because I have to admit, at first I was a little bit hesitant to do this. Okay. Because we were getting all this feedback. You know, I was like, let's just move on from the Mummy. And you were like, no, we're not moving on from the Mummy. We're doing an Egyptian game special. And so you gifted me a game called the Pyraplex. And you told me that you knew I would love this game, okay? Because you had played a bunch of...
I never played this, but I
you played... Yeah.
Yes.
You played games from these people. It's like a Japanese company, right?
The game dev story, because this is Kairosoft. And one of the very first iPhone games that I was into, this is like, 15 years ago, was Game Dev Story. And I saw that they made this, and I'm like, well, if it's as good as because Michelle, I was addicted to that shit.
People are calling this game like liquid crack. But basically, I mean, you can buy a whole pack of these guys' games on Steam. It's like $300. And people say they're all kind of the same with different skins, but they're like, they have that addicting quality. And that definitely happened to me with this game, the Pyraplex.
Awesome.
So you're building your own. I played for 12 hours, okay? So you're building your own pyramid. And what that means is you get to build it, but you also deal with the workers, and there's the quarry guy, the builder, the engineer, and you have to assign them all this different stuff. Someone's crafting balls that you're going to trade with another like country or area. By the way, this game is like cute, like cutely racist. Not that I think it's racist, but people would call it racist, but it's like cute in a Japanese way. Like people from Antarctica came to visit and they called them snowmen. And I was like, this would not go over well.
Well, what would you call them? Who lives up there?
They were calling people a bunch of weird shit, like the Aztecs are coming.
Wait,
you don't call them snowmen. Well, I think they can't say Eskimo. I've heard that they changed it from Eskimos because that's
Antarctica, though.
I don't know. Calling them snowmen just seems wrong. I don't know. It's like calling someone a sandman or
let's see.
An oil man.
Antarctica is the only continent on Earth without indigenous human inhabitants.
They called them snowmen. That's all I'm saying.
So that's okay.
I don't have a problem with
There's no indigenous people there. Of course.
But I'm
anyone
saying
that goes up there.
People would have targeted this game if it was like new and big and came out now, and it wasn't like, because it had like every group of people that came and had some like, sounded like something your grandpa would call the group of people. The fucking
How did the
snowmen
Aztecs
are coming.
end up in Egypt, by the way?
How did the snowmen add up? Like, I don't know what's going on. There was like boats coming in and the aliens visit you. So anyway.
Oh, there's a boat?
Oh, yeah, there's a boat. There's aliens. There's a magic carpet. Okay, so do not play that shit song that you made until the end of the show. So when we first started the game, I first started the game, I was very confused as to what to do, and I ended up losing a lot of money. I made a grave error. So if you're going to pick up this game and play, do not put in more than one snake charmer to start. Oh. Because,
yeah, I heard a lot of people are making that mistake early on.
Mistake.
Yeah.
We were talking all about it.
It's on
the
the
snakes
FAQ.
will get out, and then all you have to do, like, you spend the whole time, like, you're clearing your pyramid of snakes. And it was like, I couldn't keep up
asps,
with it. Like,
Michelle. I think they're called asps.
What are they called? Asps?
Asps.
What's that?
It's
snake
like
charmers?
an Egyptian asps.
Asps?
ASP, asp.
I've never heard that before. Be very
is
careful
a
with snakes.
venomous snake species found in the Nile region, Michelle.
So basically, you're doing all this shit to try to get stamps, like stamps on your stamp card. And I'm up to my 6th stamp card right now. I got a gold medal. Every year, a guy comes by and he judges your pyramid. I was like, I'm getting this fucking gold. And I was getting silver over and over. I couldn't figure it out. And they're like, well, you have to make it shaped in a certain way and try these certain shapes. And you have to have this, there's all these things you have to do. So you're also building the pyramid as well as managing the people and sending people on trade missions and doing all this stuff. So there's a lot of micromanaging shit, but it has that addicting factor that everybody talks about with however they make these games. They know this formula that
figured
gets
this
you.
shit out.
Yeah. They figured it out. It reminds me of something I would have gotten totally addicted to on the DS that I would have just played for like days.
Well, okay, so I guess on Steam it's relatively new. It says it came out last year, which I don't believe.
Well, the PC port, that's for the PC port for Steam, probably.
Yeah, I bet you it came out on iOS like 20 years. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like
Go
I
on.
said, for me,
Yeah.
I was thinking of the DS because I used to play stuff like this in the DS back when that was like groundbreaking, you know, and they weren't just like mobile games, but I would have played this, and I played it on my PC. I was shocked. I played it on my PC, even though the port was kind of shitty. And it was entertaining. So I like building, and it was fun. So look up the Pyraplex.
So what was the building like though in this? Like, were you?
Well,
like,
you're dropping. You're just dropping buildings, and you can move things around, and you have to assign people to build, and then you have to do mine in the quarry. And I was like convinced, like I was like, I'm going to get every single stone because like it starts off with a big wall of stone. It gets smaller and smaller, and I'm getting excited. I'm down to my last 2 stone walls, and I'm like, well, I'm playing this game until all the stone is gone. Then they keep coming back. They don't let you get under 2.
And then they give you a new wall.
No, it's not a new wall, but the 2 just never go away. And I was like, damn it. So I had these like mini goals. Like it keeps you, that's how it gets you. Like, oh, if I fill this stamp card, I unlock a bathhouse. Well, I'm going to renovate my bathhouse. Now
There's some weird shit going on in there, by the way.
The bathhouse, be careful. Yeah, there's people peeing in those balls, and they aren't in the ball pit, okay? So
yeah, in the butt.
Yeah, they're peeing up the butt. It's part of how they preserved the dead, I think. It's sorry, I shouldn't say that because I don't know what this guy coming is going to think of that. So anyway, I also played a game that I loved. This game defined my week as far as gaming, and it's from 2020. I missed it, but I was interested because I saw mummies. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got to play this now. There's mummies. John wants to talk about the mummy, and it's called Iratus, Lord of the Dead, Iratus. It's a turn-based dungeon roguelike. It's a bit like Darkest Dungeon 1 and 2, which I've played and I've reviewed, except it's all about you, the necromancer, and your minions. So you are like this guy, great voice actor. He's like famous. And the minions are sort of on the screen, side-by-side battles. And you have powers as the necromancer, but mostly you're using your minion powers, and you're leveling up the minions, and you're outfitting the minions. And you also have a graveyard that you work at where you can raise new minions, and you can build up different things to buff the minions, and you can make alchemy potions, and you're making gear. And there's so much managing going on. Like the depth kept like opening up more and more as I played. So at first I was like, this is basic. Then I was like, wow, like the more I played, and I beat the whole game. I was almost going to buy the expansion pack, but I didn't.
Is this a menu-driven game? I don't see
it's
any like
Darkest
arenas.
Dungeon. It's a lot of. I mean, it's not menu-driven, but it's Darkest Dungeon basically. So it's like two groups of people left and right. But you play as the bad guys, which is also I think
Darkest
fun.
Dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon 1 and 2. It's basically like that, but I like these better. I
Was
really
that the
do.
one where you on a wagon? Okay.
Yeah, but that second one pissed people off. It was really more about the dungeon crawling. And this is just, it's the fights, it's the combat. But outside of that, you're doing a lot of managing with your team and trying to unlock new minions and coming up with combos. Like I had this one bitch that could eat somebody if they were low. And it was just great. Like, I don't know. I just kind of like was in the mood. And the thing is, Egyptians are all about the dead and preserving the dead. So I thought it was a good game to play. And I did have a whole team of mummies I was testing out. It didn't work out too well. So you want to kind of fool around with combinations. And the game is actually really hard. Like your minions will die. And the nice thing though is you can make another one and then level them up again really quickly with like stuff that you get. So it does suck because some of my people made it to the end with me. I think one of my dudes, like my big knight guy, but everybody else died and I had to remake them. So the game, like when you start the game, there's a warning. It's like, this game is brutal. You will die.
So when they die though, are they back at like level 0 or 1?
They're just completely gone. And then you have to make a new one of them. So you're like, okay, I need a new ghoul.
So it's a major step back if you're like...
It's a step back, but you will probably have gotten materials to level them up quickly again. You'll be a little bit behind, but you're going to level them up a little bit.
I see the mummy guy. He looks pretty cool.
The mummy guy's cool. He's a caster. He has an AoE dot. He's like a warlock. Like I said, the team of mummies wasn't that great, but I had a really good time with this game. If you like Darkest Dungeon 1 or 2 at all, I really do recommend Iratus, Lord of the Dead. I don't think you need the Necromancer pack right away. It's an extra $15. See if you like the base game first, and it's just really cool. Like all the systems and how you can upgrade and how you can outfit, and it's brutal though. I might play again on a harder difficulty, but I don't know. Like it's actually pretty cool. So I really, really, really like this game a lot. It was fun.
It looks cool. I'm just seeing like the map here. Like, so you have like this kind of pencil and paper almost map that you go through.
Yeah, you're working through the dungeon. There's like 4 different dungeon levels. So there'll be boss battles. There'll be like different types of dungeons. So one of the groups was like Roman warriors. Another group was like dwarves. Another group was like priests, but you're playing against like the good people you would play as in Darkest Dungeon. You are the bad guys. You are the enemies. You're a bunch of these necromancer abominations that he's raised from dead parts from the good people. And you put all the parts together and you create these new minions. And there's a bunch of them. I think there's like 20. And it's cool. Like you just think about like, okay, I'm going to level up this guy, but the risk reward here is if I put all my points into him and he dies, then I lose it. So there's a lot of thinking going on between the battles. And I just like the flow of it. Like you're managing at your base, then you're out fighting, you're managing at your base, and you're constantly doing something. Like I said, the necromancer himself, who you don't see really other than just art and his voice, has skills that you can level up too. He has a whole talent tree, as well as every certain class has a whole talent tree too. So you can try to think about the synergy and the combinations. Like I wanted to be like magic focused with the necromancer. So he was casting lightning. And then I don't know, it's just a very cool game. And I personally, some people are like, oh, the people who played it ripped off Darkest Dungeon. For me personally, yes, they obviously were inspired, but they did it in a way where I liked it better. So check out You're Just Lord of the Dead. Mm-hmm.
So that Darkest Dungeon 2, that's just because I played that. I didn't love that either. Like,
it's okay. I liked it, but the wagon thing was weird. Nobody wanted it. They're like, I don't want to drive a wagon. I want to. The first game I was in a dungeon. It's not Darkest Wagon. What are you trying to do? And it's just weird. Yeah. But people, I still like the battles. I mean, I wasn't crazy about it. This game though hit me with like an addiction factor for whatever reason, where I was like, I beat it. I also played this for like 12 hours last week. And I was like, maybe I'll buy the expansion, but I didn't. And then really quickly, I did play a game called Doors Paradox. Now, people are going to make fun of it because it's definitely like a bored housewife game. It's on iOS free, but it's like $15 on Steam because it's a little bit of a different experience. It's actually 3D crafted diorama, like spin it all around, looks really cool like a storybook. And basically every door you open leads you to a portal. And you're following like this cat, which Egyptians loved cats. And there's a whole Egyptian theme for a bunch of the doors. So that's why I bought this too. But what you're really doing is you're figuring out how to get into the door. So you see this sort of door in the middle of nowhere. You're spinning it around.
Now, is this one of those nursing home games? Like
that's what I'm saying. I think this is a bored housewife game, 100%. But there was something satisfying about opening the door to me and figuring out how do I get in. So it's a puzzle game basically. So if you play the room,
so you're rotating
like
this little diorama all around, trying to figure
Matt's
out
not
where
out.
this.
He does every week. Matt and John are fine. He'll be back next week. Matt and John don't care. The listeners that were upset for each of them are wasting their time.
Yeah, live listeners, you're just joining us. I talked to Matt today. Everything's fine.
They talked last week.
But we're going to answer a very important question tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Is The Mummy a good movie?
Yeah, we're going to talk about The Mummy. We're going to talk to an Egyptian guest. And so anyway, this is like a Rube Goldberg machine with a lot of them. Like if I can do this, then I can get into that puzzle. And you're doing a lot of like puzzle stuff. So it's actually cool. It was really pretty. So if you look up the game Doors Paradox, you can play it on iOS, but I think the version's different. And I think it is worth the money on Steam. Like there's tons of levels. So $15 if you like puzzle games.
I would imagine the touchscreen though, Michelle, is probably pretty good for rotating and
but so is a mouse spin.
I get it.
It's beautiful.
But I can see you play this on an iPad. Yeah.
I might, but there was something about like it had ultra wide support and it was so pretty and just like it looked like really handcrafted. It looked like these were real little intricate doors, like a dollhouse.
How does this tie into Egypt?
I told you 5 times. First of all, Egyptians worshipped cats. There is a cat that you follow into every door and he drops clues in every map. And also there's a whole set of Egyptian tomb doors. And those were really cool levels. I even sent you photos of them.
I know.
Saying I bought this game.
Now the cat thing though, so the cat thing was in The Mummy. Because the mummy was scared of the cat. Right. Do you remember that?
I don't know. I fell asleep during The Mummy. So anyway, but I mostly forget the cat. That was a pleasant surprise. It was because I saw that there were a whole set of like secret Egyptian tombs and pyramid doors to get in. And there are secret things in the pyramids. And I remember when I was young, I would always watch this stuff with my dad. Like they sent cameras into them once. I'm sure you've seen this special on like Discovery. They sent like a little camera on like a remote control car up the pyramid ramp and they found like a secret door where light came in and all this stuff. Did you ever watch those things on like Discovery?
I don't remember the RC car thing, but I've seen
they had a camera on one, like it controlled on like a car and they were sending it all around with secret doors in the pyramid. So that's kind of why I wanted to play this too, because the Egyptian tomb ones were pretty cool. But the doors were... I mean, it sounds like a joke. It sounds like a nursing home game, but who doesn't like a puzzle game? I like thinking. I like figuring things out, and you feel really smart when that door opens. And I kind of like doors. I don't know why. I like a door. Do you like a door?
Oh, I
Something
like a good door.
I like a good door.
Now, is this like an endless game though? Is there?
There's a lot of levels. There's a lot of levels. Yeah. So I like a door. So
what are the puzzles like? So you're just like, I see one that's like a cassette player or something in a boombox. So you would just start pushing buttons and making shit happen.
Yeah, you have to figure out how this works. Like, okay, I've got all these pieces. Where do I put them? How do I make this fire turn on? Okay, I have to rotate this way, and I have to do this or that. And Hellblade's a puzzle game. Yeah, Crafty, and it's $50. And I didn't have to walk through
15.
rocks for an hour to play this. I just turned it on. In 5 minutes, I do a door. I turn it off. If I come back again, I do another door for 5 minutes. I didn't have to walk through rocks, for an hour as a crazy bitch talking to herself in left and right ear to play this game. So anyway, probably has more concurrent players than Hellblade 2 on Steam as well. I also played the Rogue Prince of Persia, which I know you did. So I'll jump in when you talk about that. Because I know it's not technically Egypt, but the Persians have a connection, like you said, with Egypt and taking it over for a certain time period. So it's kind of adjacent. It's Egyptian adjacent. So we'll talk about that as well. And I am just drinking some water. Egyptians like water. The side of the pyramids have water markings on them that some believe. No.
The Sphinx, not the...
Yeah, the Sphinx. Well, that's because there's a certain softness to the stone where things wear differently. And if something in environment is super dry, even a little bit of rain can do that. According to actual geologists. Okay, not crazy people. I'm going to go with the general scientific consensus, John, here. But we'll see. Now, talk to me. I know you played Paper Mario.
I want to talk about the Mummy. Let's just get this over with.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No,
there was
right?
like a separate thing later. Or go ahead, because we have only 30 minutes till the guy comes.
We're fine. So okay, so I finally. So okay, what started all of this stupidity was last week. I went out to eat, and they had the Mummy on the TV at the restaurant.
Mummy Returns.
Right?
You were wrong.
Well, I didn't know that because I don't know what Mummy is what. Okay,
right.
So the one that was on the TV
you
had
made
the
a
Rock.
Mummy error though.
Okay. Well, the one that was on the TV was The Rock as the Scorpion King with that really bad early CGI.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not bad because it was early. It was bad because they rushed it. They said they didn't give enough time to scan them.
There's actually a YouTube series that I saw about that because ILM was involved in it.
Yeah.
And George Lucas's studio, and one of the ILM guys was on this show talking about why it sucked. And then this YouTube channel redid it and made it look better.
So you made us watch The Mummy.
So then, because I go on like Amazon, I looked all around. It wasn't streaming. I actually got lazy and just bought it or rented it on Amazon. But I was going to buy the trilogy, Michelle. And then I'm like, because there's 3 Brendan Fraser movies, and then there's one with Tom Cruise that I don't understand at all. I guess it's related. Somehow,
yeah.
Is it the same universe?
I think so. It wasn't very good. I've said that.
Yeah.
I watched
so
that one.
I ended up. I only had time to watch the first one. Okay, and I've never seen this movie. I've known about it since it came out. I dismissed it out of hand when it came out because I'm such a Raiders Lost Ark purist. And so as soon as this movie starts, Michelle, they ripped off Indiana Jones on so many fucking levels. Like it's crazy. And like just like the very like opening shot where they show like the Paramount or Universal. So the beginning of Raiders Lost Ark, they show the Paramount.
I didn't feel like it was a ripoff of anything.
No, it is.
I think you're just one of those snooty purists.
No,
they can't watch something if they read the book. And like, actually, that's wrong.
The opening shot of Raiders Lost Ark.
Campy movie.
No.
Watch it, enjoy it.
The opening shot of Raiders Lost Ark shows the Paramount logo, which is the mountain.
Indiana Jones is a ripoff, right? Like the original Mummy movie was like from the 50s, right?
Well, no, George Lucas was inspired to recreate the serials from like the 40s and the 30s. That's where it came from, or the 20s, whatever.
Right, but everything is sort of derivative of something else.
And if you watch Casablanca, like really watch it and then watch Raiders, you realize how much that he took from that too. But anyway, okay. So I'm watching but my point was the opening sequence is the same as Raiders, where the logo turns into the scene.
Stand for this Mummy disparaging. All right, you made me watch this fucking movie.
All right, I watched it. Okay,
in snooty.
So, well, I did go in a little snooty.
Yeah, you went a little snooty.
So, all right. So Brendan Fraser kind of did an okay job.
Last time I saw Brendan Fraser, he was in The Whale.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now this was his stud. This is where they attempted to make Brendan Fraser studly.
Well, he was Studley. He was a stud in the 90s.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. Encino Man Bedazzled with...
no, he was never a stud, but I did like his attitude. I liked his attitude in this movie. His character was good. He was kind of like, like he talked, he was like straight. He's like, yeah, whatever, you're crazy bitch.
Yeah, he was doing Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he had like a little bit of an edge. I've never seen Brendan Fraser with like this edge. You know what I mean?
Well, he was a sarcastic smartass, which... honestly, I felt was lifted from Indiana Jones.
I liked his sarcasm. How he was very disinterested and stuff.
Yes, right.
No, he was not the hunky actor in the late 90s. Brendan Fraser
has
always been
Absolutely
hideously ugly, soft.
No.
He's always had bad hair plugs.
No, he was a stud.
No women were going crazy for Brendan Fraser. Maybe you dudes were.
George of the Jungle.
Nah, he wasn't. Maybe you
Bedazzled.
dudes were. I never, me or any women I know were not doing that. Brendan Fraser is a hunk.
He had his shirt off a lot.
I don't care. No, they weren't. Whatever. I'm not getting into this. Brendan Fraser, I'm just saying, I appreciate his character in this movie. Okay.
Okay, so...
DJ says, I know hundreds of women that love him. Why do you know so many women? I feel sorry for you. All right. Sorry. Continue. The Mummy.
No. Okay. So The Mummy, the premise of it, kind of believable in a way.
I like the premise. I liked how it started off with the priest.
Yeah, me too.
And Patricia. Now, that scene of her walking out with the dress was in Prince of Persia. The old, not the, I think it was like 10, 15 years ago, that Prince of Persia game that everybody went back to. That scene they stole from that movie of that character with the swords walking through with that dress, kind of walking up, was inspired from that movie.
Oh, really? You mean his girlfriend, the guy,
yeah, like the opening scene of the movie where the girl walks in.
Yeah, with the sexy sheer dress.
There's like a scene from an Assassin's Creed game where it was basically inspired by that. So it was kind of iconic. I was like, I've seen this before, but I have seen The Mummy like when I was younger, but I didn't remember it all. So it was kind of like seeing it for the first time, John. I have to admit, and I didn't even remember Rachel Weisz was in it. So you like these sort of campy movies more than I do. What did you think of it? Is it worth seeing?
I didn't hate it. I thought it was about a half hour too long, though. Like, I really wanted it to end.
Yeah. Everybody says the second one's better.
The special effects, I thought, actually held up kind of okay. But that Scorpion King rock that's in the second one is really bad. That was what I saw at when I ate out, and I was like, I'm like, this looks so. I thought this movie actually looked better than what I saw from Mummy Returns. I don't know. Yeah. Now, how do they? Did that guy? Is that guy alive? The mummy? He comes back with his girlfriend?
Yeah.
I know his girlfriend comes back.
Coming back. I mean, the second
but
one's
his girlfriend
better.
comes back. I know the girlfriend's in the second one because I remember seeing her.
Yeah.
So, what's her name?
Her name in real life, I forget. Is it?
Rama.
It's spoilers. Sorry. Yes, spoilers. Badger doesn't want spoilers. All right, let's move on because you played...
It wasn't bad. Okay, so now listen, the one thing you got to understand about pyramids is they have openings.
No, not Rachel Weisz. We're talking about Patricia Velasquez's character. Sorry, go ahead. Openings, pyramids, yes.
Pyramids have openings, entryways that you go through.
Okay, so doors?
And at some point, one of those entryways was 1,000 years old. Would you agree with that?
I have no clue. What do I look like? What the?
Well, if the pyramid's 3,000 years old, then at some point one of those entryways was 1,000 years old.
They might have redone the facing, or
right. So I played Paper Mario: 1,000-Year Door.
Well, it would have been better to call it Papyrus Mario because Egyptians invented paper, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of good though with the 1,000-Year Door. Papyrus.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Papyrus Mario.
Yes. Okay. So listen, I played this game when it came out on the GameCube. It was part of my house when it came out. My daughter and I played it. We liked it a lot. The thing is, I was a little also cynical about this game, Michelle, because I love Super Mario RPG and was really confused when this came out. And this is before the internet and all that shit, or whatever version of the internet existed. Like, I'm like, why did they not do Super Mario RPG 2? Why is this now Paper Mario? Like, I was confused by that at the time. And Square was involved with Mario RPG. One of, Nintendo's internal developers did Paper Mario, probably because they wanted to just be the developer. I don't know. But so Paper Mario is an RPG, a little like Super Mario RPG, but the hook here is that the whole world and Mario is paper, Michelle. He's like a 2D flippy flappy piece of paper character, right? And it's a turn-based combat game. The story is that Peach was on this adventure on a ship, and she docked at some town called Rogueport, and she found a treasure map, and it turns out that underneath the city is another city with a treasure, Michelle. So it's like a buried city
She's
under
always
this city.
getting Mario in trouble.
I know. So she sends Mario this map and says, "Oh, hi, I'm here. Oh, come get me. Hi."
Yeah.
So,
why does she
so he
sound
goes,
like that?
"Oh, that's how she sounds."
Mickey Mouse? She sounds like Mickey Mouse?
So, all right, first of all, you have to like this fucking story, and you have to like reading text.
Yeah, I remember that when I watched people play it.
Because if you don't like reading lots of whimsical text, you're going to kill yourself, okay? Because it's almost...
That's a warning officially, too, by the way. Be careful.
Yes, it's the worst part of the whole game. Now, some would say... That's the charm of the game. The story, it's so cute. It's so
paper
funny.
Mario
it's
reading
so
is like a
creative.
book, okay? So you have to like paper.
I know, but like I read so many people saying, I love the story. It's so funny. It's so whimsical. I just can't wait to talk to all the little
Who
weird
says that? I
characters
love this.
in
It's
the
so
world.
whimsical. Who says that? Can I beat them? Are they nearby? I loved it. It was so
I saw
whimsical.
people saying
Are they
these
7?
things.
Who's saying this?
It's so funny, and the writing is so the story.
Yeah, I don't think these people exist. I don't know.
What?
Who are
You
these
don't?
people? I don't know. I don't want
I
to
just
know
saw
them.
it before I came on here.
But I want to know more about who's saying this, though.
I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find it.
It's made a bot on Nintendo's website.
I wish I could find it real quick.
CC
The
Games
greatest
is
Mario,
selling
the
well at
greatest.
his store.
Here's an article right here. The greatest Mario story ever told. There you go. Right here.
Yeah, down with the whimsical people. I agree.
What?
Efro, down with the whimsical people. Well, the greatest story ever told, John. Is it a good story?
It's okay.
What is it competing with? The story of the first game, Bowser takes your girlfriend.
Yeah, well, the
really
first
like
Mario
you.
game, what is the story? There's really no story. My
Yeah.
princess is
Rescue
in
the
another
princess.
castle.
That's right.
That's about it. That's all you get.
Not a high bar, right?
So, all right, so they're trying to tell a real fucking story here, but inside of this is a party, squad-based, RPG, turn-based combat game. And I have to say, I really started warming up to this, and now I haven't played this in like 20 years, like the original. Like, I really haven't. Like, I think that's the last time I played it.
Yeah.
So I forgot a lot about this game, and I did go in with a Super Mario RPG chip on my shoulder because I just bought that fucking game not that long ago. Because this is the second Paper Mario game on the Switch too. Like,
Well,
what's up? With,
recycling. That's what Nintendo does. It's
the
paper.
last one was new.
And this one, 30 FPS, the original game 60. Nintendo going backwards.
Well, okay, I'm going to say
Doesn't
this
matter
though.
on Paper Mario, though.
I'm going to say it doesn't. I think on Princess Peach, the game that just came out not too long ago,
Yeah.
that was really noticeable.
Okay.
Like oh my God, it was making me upset how it was slowing down, right? I didn't feel that once with this game, and I mean that. And I think visually it looks really good. I did play it on my I actually played it only on my 1080p TV on my deck. So
Okay.
I didn't plug it into a 4K TV. I just played on my cheap 1080p TV I have outside. And listen, I do like this game. I definitely was warming up to it. I want to play more of it. I'm going to play more of it. I do like the combat, the upgrades. You get these little badges. You know, it's this typical shit. You know, all these currencies and upgrades, and there's stores, there's inns. It's everything you would expect to see in an RPG. You know, but everything's flat and it's cute and whimsical. But again, it's turn-based combat. But I think the combat feels good because it is interactive. You have to like actively press A when you're landing a hit on a bad guy, and you also do the same when you're defending yourself when you're getting hit. You have an audience that's watching you do turn-based combat, kind of like Peach, where you're on stage.
That's weird. It's
I
like
know.
this voyeurism in every Nintendo game.
And the thing is, here's the thing: when you're doing combat and they're watching you, they will heckle you if you do bad and throw shit at you, and you have to preemptively go out into the audience and beat them up, like Chris Rock style, or
Okay.
I
Chris
guess not
Rock.
Chris Rock style. No, that would be.
Will Smith.
I guess that doesn't work.
Or
what I
Chris,
said.
what's his face, who beat Rihanna. You could go with that.
I was just trying to think of some audience that, I guess more like Will Smith style. They would beat you up.
Well, he went on stage to
on.
beat people up. He didn't go into the crowd.
Okay, so they will. Okay, the audience will turn on you and throw shit at you if you do bad on stage.
Really?
And you have to preemptively go out. No, they throw like rocks and shit. And if you see them like,
that's a bit much.
I know, but if you see them cue up a rock, you have to proactively go out there and knock it out of their hands.
I thought they throw like a banana at you or something, a rock.
No.
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this game's decent. I think $60, a little steep.
I think Nintendo could have just put it on their like online service for.
No, it's a complete redo though. It's not. It's not. It's not emulated in the GameCube, engine or whatever GameCube emulator. I think it's a good game. I'm not going to really diss it because I actually enjoyed what I was playing. But like the first like hour, oh my god, the dialogue is it's so stupid. It's too much. So what do you do about that?
You skip.
All right, let's talk about. Was there a game I wanted to talk? Oh,
Discovery Tour by Assassin's Creed: Ancient Egypt.
Yes. Okay, I bought this on a whim, obviously because we're doing this. I didn't play a lot of this because I was bored out of my fucking mind.
Yeah, they've done one for a couple of Assassin's Creed games. It's basically a historical look at the places you're playing in the game.
So what I played was I was in Egypt in Alexandria, and so you are a female character in basically the Assassin's Creed engine, probably one of the levels. And you're basically just walking around, going to little highlighted areas, and then some text pops up on the screen and says where you are. That's what I experienced. And I was bored, Michelle. Like, really fucking bored.
Wow, I thought you were into the history of this, though.
I am, but it just felt kind of lazy. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I put more time into it, I would discover crazy shit. But I was basically just walking.
Reviews, John.
I know. I was walking down a road.
$20 they want for this shit?
I went to a fucking bridge. I went to a thing and it says, "You're in the city of Alexandria. Below you is a river. In this river are fish."
The Discovery Tour is included in Assassin's Creed Origins as a free update.
Oh.
If you own Origins.
Yeah, they've got 3 of these. They got Viking Age, they've got Ancient Greece, and Ancient Egypt.
I like this review. Historically inaccurate. The
game
really? Is fine, but it's labeled as educational, not historical. So the developers can educate you on whatever they want. Does an injustice to historians who try to keep an accurate record.
Really? Is this on Steam?
Yeah.
Is this a Steam
review? Yeah, some guy's mad.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, if this should be like an VR maybe. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think VR would be more interested. But yeah, I'm looking. People are mad at how historically inaccurate it is.
Really?
And there's some weird woke shit in it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's Ubisoft. There's got to be better tours of Egypt. I think through VR, like you said, would probably be cooler.
I think that. I just wish I wasn't so bored playing this. That's all I could tell you. Like I was just bored of it, like right away. So.
Well, you tried.
I tried.
Right. Let's talk about the Rogue Prince of Persia, because I played this a bit too. It's created by a team who did some DLC for Dead Cells. And
I think they did a little bit more than that. I think they did the final polish of the game too. Mm-hmm. But it's a Splinter Cell of the Dead Cell developers that is been tasked with the DLC and some shit. And they also will put on this game. And I thought this was really interesting. And I have to tell you, going into this, I didn't know that the Dead Cells people were involved. And I felt the Dead Cells right away.
Yeah, I didn't, and I think it's not. John and I already argued about this because he said it's the same loop. It's not. This game is not a Metroidvania. Dead Cells is.
Yes, it is.
So it's not. No, it's not, John. This game is linear progression, which is the antithesis of what a Metroidvania is. You do not. I
don't want to get in a fight, but there is Metroidvania
because you're fucking wrong. And every review on Steam says the same thing. Thought it might be Dead Cells because the developers. It's nothing like it. The loop is completely different. So what it is, if you like Metroidvanias, it's different. All this is a linear progression. It feels like
okay. First of all, I didn't know Dead Cells was involved with this, and then
but you thought
I was feeling Dead Cells
because but Dead Cells is a Metroidvania, so this isn't.
This has Metroidvania stuff going on, though.
It doesn't.
It's totally. It gets way more vertical later on. You're wrong. It
Being
does.
a Metroidvania has nothing to do with verticality. Metroidvania is a subgenre of action-adventure games and platformers focused on guided non-linearity and utility-gated exploration and progression.
I understand what you're saying.
Exactly. So it has nothing to do with a vertical map or a side-scrolling. It's because you're going back to places that you were at the start that you couldn't like get through the door because you didn't have the axe, and now you have the axe, so you can unlock the rock wall, so you go through. So you have to.
No, I understand what you're saying.
So this is linear. You progress from more difficult levels to the end, and there's a boss. Is it any good? Old School says. I think I left a review on Steam, and I kind of to just reiterate it here. I think it's a bit basic and clumsy at times. The parkour, I'm not a fan of. I wanted it to feel more like a straight platformer, like Aladdin. I don't think this game is like wonderful, but I still recommend trying it and playing it because it is like basic and repetitive and a bit shitty, but still kind of fun and addicting. What do you think, John?
First of all, the game's in early access, so let's make that clear. And they said it's very basic right now, and they're going to be adding a lot more stuff.
Right.
So I initially did not like this game, and then I got actually kind of addicted to the loop. And I love the platforming. I think it's very fluid. The parkour is great. That little so what they did, so this is the 2D side-scrolling platformer combat game, right? And they added this parkour thing where you're like, how do you do parkour in a 2D side scroller?
You're running on a wall.
You squeeze the left trigger and he just runs up a wall. And it's so simple and stupid, but it actually adds a lot to the platforming as you're doing it because I didn't
like it.
I loved it. But you didn't play. Did you play the controller?
Of course I did.
Did you play the controller?
Of course I did. Yeah.
Michelle, which controller?
The Xbox controller. It's on my fucking desk. Did you play with a brain? Because you're calling it a Metroidvania, and it's not.
I think it's a Metroidvania.
It's not a Metroidvania. You do not.
It's kind of a little Metroidvania.
No, it doesn't. It's linear progression, which is the total opposite of what Metroidvania is.
But it's not linear progression because there are optional areas that
you start at the beginning. That's what roguelikes are. That's not a Metroidvania.
This is not linear to what you. This isn't point A to point B. Yes, it is to a degree, but as you're going from A to B, you can go up and down.
It's not utility-gated exploration and progression. It's linear progression.
I understand what you're saying.
Area.
Okay, you're not getting some grappling hook to go over a wall. I understand that, okay?
Yeah.
But I feel the Dead Cells in this.
Well, I don't.
Which I like.
Games. Dead Cells is a Metroidvania. I mean, this is very basic. I think you're even saying it's basic. The combat's very basic. It doesn't feel very fluid. You like the wall running.
I like the wall running.
A little basic, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the combat is basically what the combat is you will get a secondary weapon that's usually ranged. Yep. So you have a bow and arrow or some, you power it up with your melee strikes.
So it's like 3 melee strikes. You get a charge on it, and then you can shoot out that.
But then you start getting these
knock people, put them into the wall. There's trinkets you get. There's a girl that sells them back at your home base. It's a fun loop. It's a roguelike.
Well, the trinkets you get on the map, and then you get this currency that you can send back to your base.
You can also buy them at your base from the girl.
That's just the library of the ones you found.
No, she also sells things.
And then if you find the currency in the map, you send it back to the base, and then you can use that to craft weapons before you go out. You're not really carrying over a lot of stuff at all, really.
Yeah.
Like a rogue normally would. Like you don't have any like permanent upgrades yet in this. I mean, the best thing
there's meta progression.
Not really.
Yeah, really, because you're getting the purple stuff, and that's meta progression when you're.
Yeah, but that just allows you to craft a weapon before you go back out.
Right, but that's meta progression. You retain something and get stronger, and you can also craft certain things from her, and you buy certain things from her, and you can fill all four slots with it. So when you go back out, you have a full kit. But I think early access. What?
Yeah,
she's a vendor. What do you think she sells you?
No, she just has a catalog of the things you found.
That's to the left. Next to the chart on the left, there's a woman who sells things. Did you unlock that yet?
I don't know. Maybe I haven't.
Yeah, I definitely think it's kind of mid, as you guys say. I don't like saying mid. I think it's middle. I think it's like it's not great, but it's like fun enough to want to play the loop. And I think John liked it a lot more than I did, but he definitely likes these games more. The only game I've ever been super into, like I said, that was even a side-scrolling platformer, was the Aladdin on Genesis, and I loved that game.
Yeah. I like this game a lot, actually. It runs really good on the Steam Deck, which is where I played it exclusively.
Okay. Yeah.
It runs terrific on the Steam Deck.
I think that would be more fun on the Steam Deck than the PC.
Yeah, I really do like it. Right now, I think there's only like 6 levels and 2 bosses, but they're going to be adding a ton more to this. Yeah. So, I mean, I think
JT
I like
this.
this.
Video game arguers. Yeah, it's kind of good when people have different opinions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't always want to agree with John. That would be bad.
Yeah, I like it. I really do. I think the wall running's great.
Worth trying. I think it's like you're not going to be blown away.
The music's decent. It's a little repetitive. The art style, like initially, I'm like, I'm gonna hate this.
Yeah,
I kind of warmed up to it, to be honest.
It's
the style
okay.
of it.
It's a little mobile game look to it, like most stuff these days. And I was like you, I hated it at first, and then it sort of grew on me. And I kind of was like thinking about it. I'm like, hey, I want to play some more. Right,
but the thing is, I've been doing the same thing over and over for like 2 hours. Like it's literally like the same fucking thing over and over again.
Right.
Well, which is okay,
die.
Huh?
Yeah, you gotta not die.
Well, yeah, I understand that, Michelle. Thanks. Is that how you do this?
Yeah, you don't die. Just don't die and you won't have to do the same thing again.
But it's a rogue that you're going to have to do the same thing over again.
Yes, but depending how many times you die, you'll have to do it more.
I don't think that has any outcome on anything. It does.
If you're shit, you could be at the same level for 100 tries. If you're good, you'll be at the same level for 5 and beat the game.
No, it's not true. It's not how this game works.
Yes, it is.
No, the progression's not like that in this game.
If you go to the end till you get to the boss, you can go there in one loop if you don't die. What are you talking about?
But you're not stronger the next time you start.
Yes, you are. If you sent back enough of the purple goop, you're starting off with more.
The purple goop allows you to craft another weapon that you can start with.
Mm-hmm. Which is stronger than the base weapon. And there's also other trinket
But you can find that same weapon on the level.
Oh my God, John, I don't care. The game's good enough to try, but I don't think you're going to be blown away, I think. But it was cool. I know it's not technically Egypt, but I thought it was a good game that came out anyway that I'm glad we kind of played.
Yeah. Yeah, it's deck mode all the way. I like it. I really do.
Good. I hope you beat it.
Yeah, maybe. I never beat Dead Cells, not even close.
Okay. Well,
I just kept playing it over and over again.
It's not like Metroidvania. It's not. Go read the reviews. People agree with me. They're saying it's nothing like Dead Cells. And I thought
Everyone says it's not like Dead. All the reviews say it's like Dead Cells.
No, they don't. All the reviews on Steam say I thought it would be Dead Cells because the people made it, but it's nothing like it. It's not a Metroidvania. It's linear progression. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, I'm glad you liked the parkour. I was wondering. Sorry, not parkour. I didn't really.
Here, PC Gamer, the Rogue Prince of Persia is, from the short amount of I've played so far, essentially Dead Cells, but with more deliberate movement.
Yeah, it's not Dead Cells at all because it's not a Metroidvania.
Miss PC Gamer right there.
I don't care about PC Gamer. It's probably some girl lives in an apartment of 12 cats. Go read the Steam reviews from actual gamers, not fake gamers.
Eurogamer does a lot of Dead Souls in the Rogue Prince of Persia.
I'm glad you Googled Dead Cells and Prince of Persia.
Well, I'm glad that you Googled not like Dead Cells.
I didn't Google shit. I looked at the fucking reviews and I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. These people saying this game is not Dead Cells. So if you think it is and you like Dead Cells, you may not like this. The last game John
Steam
beat,
community,
J2 wants to know.
Too similar to Dead Cells.
It's not. Read that. Right you're selectively picking things.
I'm on Steam.
I'm
on Steam. The game looks like unreleased DLC for Dead Cells.
But doesn't play like. It's not a Metroidvania. Thank you for
all mechanics are taken from the previous game. The shops, the leveling, the system, the combat, enemies are very similar.
Wow. You die and come back. These people have never played a fucking game before. John, you have a question from the chat. What was the last game you beat?
Oh.
Sorry, passed. Yeah, that's right. John doesn't beat games.
Yeah, I beat it a couple games not too long ago.
What'd you beat it?
I beat it, yeah.
What?
I don't remember what they were.
All right.
I beat a couple games recently. What was
The last game I beat was last week. I just beat the Iratus game. I don't even know how to say that word. Sorry. Iratus, Lord of the Dead. And I beat the Pyramid game, technically.
I beat a couple smaller games not that long ago. Last big game I beat was Cyberpunk.
All right, John, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking iced tea with lemonade. All right, guys, this is it. We have a very special guest. We have Mo calling in from Egypt. But there's a technical echo. We're going to just do it. Deal with it.
Yeah, so ask him a question and then don't talk. Let him speak.
So ask him a question and then don't talk. Let him speak. Hi, John. Hi, Mitchell. What's up?
Hi. Okay, so tell us where you are right now. Can you see? I don't even know what to ask, John. What I can't. I'm like, hear myself think. What did you want to ask Mo?
Okay, Mo, listen. The reason that you're here.
Okay, Mo, listen. The reason that you're here.
There is a third person that does this show, and I got into a fight with him because he wouldn't tell me if The Mummy was a good movie.
Because he wouldn't tell me if The Mummy was a good movie.
Do you know The Mummy?
Really? Isn't it?
You know The Mummy?
Yeah, of course. I've watched it several times, but which one? The Tom Cruise
The first one.
Here we go. The Tom Cruise.
Which one's the one
Okay.
to watch? Which is the best Mummy?
Which one to watch? Mummy.
Yeah, guys, it was an incredible movie, of course.
Which one's the best?
Which one's the best?
Actually, for me, the original one. It
Okay.
was far more best.
Now, do you agree that Brendan Fraser is a hunk? He was a heartthrob
No.
from the 90s.
No.
He was a heartthrob.
A very handsome man. Would you agree? Not that we know.
A very handsome man. Would you agree? Not that we know.
I think he's probably more into Rachel
No,
Weisz.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I agree. Yeah, exactly, Mo. Thank you. Thank you, Mo. I agree.
Exactly, Mo. Thank you. Thank you, Mo. I agree.
Yeah.
Now, what would you like to tell us about, like, how do you feel about what's going on with Graham Hancock and the pyramids and the age?
What's going on with Graham
And what do Egyptians think of this sort of hype around everybody coming out there now and debating how old it is and how it happened?
The
What is
Sphinx,
your-
Michelle.
The Sphinx.
How
Well,
old
yeah.
is it? And have you seen UFOs?
And have you seen UFOs?
Actually, I don't know. I think that about that movie, it was a nice one. And very famous here also in Egypt because it introduced some kind of heritage, some kind of myth and stories about old pyramids, Sphinx, and blah blah blah. And of course, the magic part was real. I'm going to tell you guys, it's 100% real.
Really?
Because if there are three things that old Egyptians knew well, it was, medicine, engineering, and of course magic. It's very famous. So some like the first curse is true. It happens. It happens every day, from days to when people try to search for underground treasures, temples and so on.
So, Mo, when you say the magic pot, you're referencing the Mummy movie, right? The first one.
He says it's true.
I'm trying to remember the magic pot. Do you remember that in the
Trying to remember the magic pot.
Michelle?
Michelle.
I'm trying not to talk because we're echoing, so I'm trying to let him speak, John.
But what's the magic pot?
Just go with it. So he says the Egyptians do engineering and also medicine, which is not debated. But now he's saying magic and curses. They were real, and I know that that's all. So it's about like, do you wear anything to protect yourself from curses? My grandmother wore an eye on her neck because she thought it protected from curses, the evil eye. Do you personally wear anything to protect? How do you ward off an evil curse, Mo?
Personally wear anything to ward off an evil curse, Mo?
Okay, for me, no, of course, because I don't live very near to the pyramids, but I believe that all my friends living there use some kinds of this necklace or stuff because they live very near to the old ancient pyramids and temples. There are very and everywhere, and many things can happen from day to day. We heard so many stories you can and in news and stuff about curses that happen to some families, entire people, if they messed up with these old places. Somehow it happens.
Right.
Of course it happens.
So the
Have
mummy
you
is like a
seen anything?
documentary. It's real.
The Mummy is like a documentary. Real.
What about those beetles? Do you have those beetles around? The beetles that go under the skin? Is that a real thing?
That go under the skin? Is that a real thing?
No, not actually. For me, didn't see one. I haven't seen one yet. But
Right.
But the scarabs are something
kind
with
of curse
the
is something.
But the scarabs are something with
mythology. Like they had significance.
Yeah, but the scare.
mythology. Like they had significance.
Yes, of course, I agree. But the point is, this kind of curses is not that so obvious. Like it's related somehow with demons, old demons that guard the temples and the places. So it's more related with demons that you can see, but yeah, it can do a massive harm to people who mess with these temples and these old places somehow.
Wow, that's
Demons
scary.
guard.
God, now I really feel like you should watch The Mummy.
Okay,
I
so
really feel
so
you
what
should
you're
watch The
saying
Mummy.
Okay, so
is The Mummy is a good
You're
movie.
saying-
Is that true?
The Mummy is a good movie. Is that true?
Okay, yes, it is.
Okay,
It is
so
a
we
good
got to the
movie,
bottom of
We
it.
got to the bottom of this. Thank you so much for joining us
got
and
to the
pushing
bottom.
through the technical
We got to the
difficulties, Mo.
Thank you so much for and pushing through the
Yeah.
difficulties, Mo.
Mo,
Be
I
safe
think
out
you,
there.
I think you brought a lot to
Mo,
this
I did.
conversation and this
You
argument.
did.
You brought a lot. to
And
this-
I'm gonna
this
look into the
conversation
magic
and this
pot.
argument,
Yes.
and I'm gonna look into
Which
pot.
over here has maybe some different meanings. Michelle's into the magic pot. You know what
not.
I mean?
I'm the only
wink,
sober
wink.
host. Thank you.
Shell magic pot. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not. I'm the
Wink,
only
wink.
sober host. Thank you.
All right, Mo. So thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you for tolerating the
So
technical
thank you for
difficulties.
speaking with us.
And
Thank you for tolerating the technical.
Michelle. Go ahead.
Anytime.
Okay,
Anytime,
take
guys.
care.
And so,
Go ahead.
yeah,
That's
sorry
okay.
for
It's
that.
not your
It's
fault,
okay, Mo.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you,
did good.
Mo.
Thank you.
Okay, it's
okay.
not
Bye-bye.
your fault, Mo.
Bye.
Thank you.
Anytime. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, there you go.
All right, well, there you go. We talked to
We-
Mo, who says it's not only worth watching, but it's real. These are
Yeah.
real curses.
So there you go. We got
All right.
to the bottom of this.
We got to
Someone
the bottom of
finally
it.
told me.
Somebody
Yeah, it
finally
is a
told
good
you.
movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. And by the
This
way,
is all
it's
I
real.
wanted to know last week. It's all I
That's
was
it.
asking.
And
right?
you had to talk to an Egyptian to find out. Yeah, I wish we got to hear Mo more too, but we wanted to
I
push
know.
through
I
and
could
still
tell
do
Mo.
something.
I
We had
like
a
Mo.
thing planned.
Maybe we have Mo back some other time.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
I
No, I'm
know.
serious.
I know, but I feel like this would happen again.
I
feel
know,
like
but
we
there
need
was
to-
something. He knows some shit.
Mo's
Michelle.
onto something. All right, he said he
like
doesn't live
curses
that close.
and magic
Yeah.
pot.
I know.
And there's onks.
He said, "I'm here to tell you it's real."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little shaken, John.
It makes me want to go to Egypt more. I want to go with
Would
Mo.
you go meet Mo? Yeah, maybe you guys could hook up and
Yeah, maybe we can rent scooters. Mo and
yeah.
I. But just no gay stuff. Clearly, no Brendan Fraser.
Oh
good looking.
no,
No.
You don't wanna get
Can't
thrown
do
off
that.
A pyramid. John. It's just let's not go there. I don't think he liked you asking about Mo. All right, let's move on to the rest of the show. I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of Mo. I appreciate
I
him
am
being a
too,
good
actually.
sport.
I'm all in on
And,
Mo.
Mo could be a serial killer, but you know what? God damn it, Mo. You got us. You got us. So let's talk about some news.
All right.
All right. Rainbow Six, stupid. COD is coming to Game Pass, which we all
Why
knew.
is it stupid? It's not stupid.
What's stupid?
Rainbow Six, not stupid.
Rainbow Six Siege fans roundly boo the announcement of a new monthly subscription service.
Yeah. Rainbow
go
Six
live in
membership.
June, $10.
$10 a month.
Well, I mean, it's like their only successful game, so they're trying to milk it. And it's huge on Twitch thanks to Jinxie. So I guess I don't know.
So they're announcing something called R6 membership. It promises exclusive content drops, animated skins, and a premium battle pass for $10 a month. So this is nothing more than a battle pass. But
Yeah.
isn't there one already in that game?
There is.
How's this different?
It's like there's a free track and you can unlock cosmetics. I mean, you're still not going to get any like game for like being a better player, right? It's just, you do get some packs, but it's all cosmetics.
Yeah.
Bravo packs. There could be heroes in there. I don't think it's a big deal.
No. I mean, what do you think about, like, I was thinking
10 a
about
month
this,
is
like,
a little ridiculous though. I mean,
the game's pretty old at this point, too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's like even paying $15 a month for WoW at this point seems kind of silly. I feel
Phil will fix that.
Is he? No, he's not. They're never
Yes, he
giving that
will.
money out. They're not. No, Phil won't fix that. They're not.
Okay,
giving
just
up all
like
that money.
everyone said, Call of Duty's never going to be on
Nobody
Game Pass.
said that.
Guess
Everybody
what?
knew it
Yes,
would
you
be.
did. Call of
No,
Duty's
we
coming to
didn't.
Game
Everybody
Pass.
knew Call of Duty was
Ta-da!
coming to Game Pass. They
Thank
said every
you.
first party game will go there, and it's technically theirs now.
Yeah, I
It
know.
doesn't
I
mean,
picked up on that,
wow,
and
a
everyone else
PC
was
game.
going, no.
Nobody said that. Everyone.
And then
this is a
Diablo
shock.
4. I said Diablo 4 going to Game
I
Pass.
never
You
said
said,
that.
no,
I said
it's
it won't
not.
be.
No, it's not.
No, I didn't. I said when their
Johnstradamus.
expansion comes out, they'll want to sell it.
All right,
they bought
so
these
all right.
companies to put the games on Game Pass, John.
Okay, so anyway, Microsoft announced, accidentally maybe, they did a push on iOS, on the Xbox Game Pass app on iOS and Android, a push notification. It said, just announced, COD Black Ops 6 is coming to Game Pass on day one later this year. So obviously this confirms something that we've been talking about. I don't know. I think this is going to change things. I know we said this already.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yes,
everybody
it
knew this
is.
was happening. I don't think it's a huge deal.
It is a huge deal, Michelle.
I don't think it's going to sell a lot of Game Pass subscriptions or Xboxes.
I think it's absolutely
or
going to
NBC.
do that.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, listen, someone's sitting around going $70 right now, or I just give $10 for Game Pass. Makes a lot of sense to me. People are going to do that. I'll just
They have
play
to
it
do
over
it for 7 months then to make up for the price of the
Sure,
game. So
but how
Microsoft
many people
loses.
say, I
So
just want
Microsoft
to play Call of
loses.
Duty over Christmas break? Right?
So Microsoft loses when they would have had a sale.
They do.
Good job, Phil.
But they're getting people in the ecosystem that might stick around if they keep delivering more great games.
Okay. I'm lukewarm on it. I mean, it doesn't impact me either way.
Drake Eotic sent me this on Twitter saying that a new Astrobot game rumored to be announced in the next 2 weeks, according to IGN.
But for what? There's no VR.
Well, I don't know.
Is it a non-VR game?
According to reliable leakers, full-size Astrobot game featuring a desert setting and a fennec fox in the form of a robot. What the fuck is that? What is a fennec
The
fox? What is that, Michelle?
The desert?
What's a fennec fox?
How do I know? A fennec fox?
Yeah, it's a cute little cat-looking fox.
Okay.
He's kind of cute. He's got big ears. So you're a robot fox? What? What are they doing to this?
I think this is
I don't
sounding
like
a little weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Let's get Mo back and talk about curses again. No, so John, I don't know if you're excited about this, but playables are now on YouTube. More than 75 games are now available to play directly on YouTube. Here's how to find them.
Really?
These are big games such as Color Burst, Rainy Cafe, Pocket Champions, Basketball Forever, Bazooka Boy, Chess Classics,
Bazooka Boy.
State.io, Cube Master 3D. Cube
I have
Tower.
a problem with this, to be honest.
Crap games, yeah. I don't like it.
I don't like what they're doing to YouTube. I think with
Neither do I. It's gone downhill. I stopped going. I don't want to see your shorts bar I've been blocking. You're trying to block my ad blockers. Lick my ass.
And then they kill the podcasting app and they dump it in there.
Now they're putting our shit on YouTube. Nobody listens to us on YouTube.
Right. The thing is, we used to be on Google Podcasts, which is where we belong.
Yeah.
And then they nuke it.
Yeah.
And then so now we're on YouTube Music, which is just a facade for YouTube.
It's stupid. I hate it.
It's
and then we don't get the plays from our podcast and our ads.
And then we got fucking games in here.
Yeah. Get your
I
act
don't want to
together.
launch the YouTube app to play games.
Google's run
What
by a
is
bunch
this?
of bums.
Yeah, a bunch of homeless morons are fucking.
Yeah, they're all in
They're
San
sitting
Francisco
around
shitting
a
on the
barrel,
street.
fucking
Yeah,
with a
burning.
fire. What?
Yeah, they're a bunch of crumb bums.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking stew
Dirty
bums
people
are out in the back.
Yeah, I think this is stupid. I'm a little annoyed with Google
It's
overall.
completely dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. Nobody wants to play these shitty games stack bounce on YouTube. People go to YouTube to watch shitty videos. They don't want to watch. They don't want to play.
Okay, now
stack
let me ask you a
bounce.
question. Like on Netflix, when Netflix does this, and they do. So if I go to Netflix, they have games in there, right? But if I go to the games, it actually sends me to Google Play. They're not actually in Netflix. Are these
They want-
actually
yeah.
in?
No, yeah.
Are these
they're
actually
there.
in?
They're playable directly on YouTube. There's like browser.
Like some
I
whatever.
think these people missed the
Java
point of what YouTube was. It's supposed to be videos, you dumb fucks. Now you've got
Right.
podcast audio going in them. You've got us playing Farmland. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? You don't shit in YouTube. It's like the one thing that you guys have that's successful, other than your search,
Right.
which is a little hit or miss
little
these days.
Well, yeah, they're telling people to put glue on pizza.
Yeah. I thought that was a TikTok thing. I don't know. I'm not really on
No,
social
that was
media.
Google. That was Google AI.
Okay. I don't know. It's Flash
Someone
games.
asked like why their cheese isn't sticking on the pizza, and and Google AI said to put glue on it.
Listen to an interesting podcast about AI with two guys. They were just on Rogan. And I thought they were pretty decent because they're
Oh,
not
yeah?
funded. But I think, I recommend it. But they were talking about how it's like the huge thing right now holding America back is power. And Amazon just bought a nuclear plant in Virginia.
Okay.
And obviously, so like China's being held back because they don't have the chips. And we're being held back because we don't have the power. So they're like, there's a big push for power right now. And so it was an interesting thing. They kind of talked about how open AI, like Sam and all that, like kind of has fallen off, and like there's weird shit going on, and there's all special interest money, and the government's getting involved, and it's just kind of it was an interesting thing. But Google, I kind of have been using Claude recently to try to help with drafting like lawyer letters and things like that. So there's a bunch of competitors now, but Microsoft's just made some $50 billion push with something that, and they're banking on like this other sort of shit. And then NVIDIA just paired up with, what's the company? And then I already talked about this with you, but they're doing the stock split. So like, I don't know. It was just an interesting episode. And I feel like Google is going to be losing market share as we push forward because they no longer have the corner on like search results, because we've now moved into these AI bots being fed information that people are using as search results, even though they're technically not. I don't even like how you use Google now and they give you an AI response up top instead of a Google search result. And the AI response
that's where they're putting the glue on the
pizza. It's just been trained on something. Yeah. So it's really messy right now.
It's messy. And then also on my, because I have a Pixel Fold and I seem to be getting all the updates faster than everybody else, like the fucking audio emojis and shit.
All over my Google News feed on my iPhone, even like if you open a tab, it used to be decent. Now it's all ads and garbage.
Well, guess what? In my Google Messages, which is my chat app, they added my texting app. They added AI, so now they want me to text their AI and ask them questions.
I know.
Like, do you want this?
Google's going crazy. I like it as a separate thing. I don't want it popping up on search results because I want to know the difference between an actual search result and your AI response, which is probably going to be filled with weird, wacky information that's not factual. So I would like that parse.
But Michelle, let me ask you an honest question, because again, Google added basically a AI contact to my text messaging, right? And I just asked it like some. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, Michelle. So I basically
ask it a question. You should ask it if you should see the mummy. We should ask.
Okay, I'm gonna ask it right now. I asked it something about food. I'm like, what should I make tonight?
Yeah,
because like it added it in there recently. It's
it's
called
in with everything. Well, judging
Gemini.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask it. Let me go to the Gemini.
The Gemini. Other news out there. The next Doom is called Doom Dark Ages with a medieval feel. It actually looks cool.
Here's what I asked it. I said, hi. It says, hi, I'm Gemini. In Google Messages, chat with me to draft messages,
Gemini.
brainstorm ideas. So I said, this showed up in my chat client. I said, okay. So I said, what should I grill today? It says, choosing what to grill depends on your preferences and the time you have. Here are some options for today, May 22nd. So it told me to make kebabs with chicken, veggies, and pineapple.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Should have been like, have your wife cook for you.
And then I said, well, I'm thinking about chicken thighs. And it says, chicken thighs are a great choice. Okay, whatever. All right, I'm going to ask you right now.
Ask if you see The Mummy.
Is The Mummy a good movie? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. All right. There are actually two popular movies titled The Mummy. The Mummy, 1999, starring Brendan Fraser, is a fun action-adventure comedy with some horror elements. It's considered a cult classic and generally well-liked for its entertainment value.
And Mo said it's real.
And then The Mummy, 2017, starring Tom Cruise, is a more serious action horror film.
It actually was very serious.
It received mixed reviews. It's part of a planned monster movie universe that never fully materialized.
Yeah, it wasn't one of Tom's best, John.
I think he looks weird. His hair is not right.
They're starting to spray his hair.
Was Brendan
like
Fraser a teen hunk idol in the 90s?
I'm sorry. I've never found Brendan Fraser attractive, appealing in any way. He kind of got me from it with The Mummy because
Brendan Fraser was a popular
asshole.
teen idol in the 1990s. He starred in several
the dorky loser.
He starred several successful films aimed at young audiences, such as The Mummy and George the Jungle. His charisma and good looks made him a favorite among teenagers.
I don't know. I think he's below average looking. A favorite among teenagers. I think dudes liked him. I think this is what's coming out. Oh, poor Brendan Fraser. We're just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, other news. Are you excited about Doom Dark Ages?
Yeah, I saw McGee, what's his name? The guy that did Alice, American McGee.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? You know who American McGee is?
Not really.
He's a developer. He made the Alice game, Alice in Wonderland game. But he said, "Oh, I pitched that idea to them 20 years ago."
Oh, shut up.
What?
Shut up.
What?
Sure you did.
The medieval Doom. Well, he worked for them.
Okay.
No?
I don't know.
You think he's wrong?
Just seems a little petty. Why do you got to tell us that? Yeah. What do you want?
I don't know. Maybe just like, oh, wow, I pitched that.
I don't know. It's a little petty. I think dudes shouldn't be that way. Sounds like a crybaby, John.
Yeah. I mean, this is a Phil game. I think so.
Yeah, it's coming to Xbox, Windows, and PlayStation, and some Xbox users are upset that it's going to PlayStation. And, one of these ones that I make fun of all the time, Tim Dong, also known as Tim Dog, said that he left Xbox because the games went third party. What do you think of that?
Wait, he left Xbox because the games
went third party? Because they put like 2 games on PlayStation, like Sea of Thieves. He was a popular Xbox.
Oh, that's stupid. That's fucking dumb.
Yeah. I know.
That's completely retarded in every way.
So good that they're putting Doom on PlayStation. It'll sell more, right?
Yeah. If anything, too, it makes your Xbox investment know that you'll know that its future is in good hands because there's actually
them selling
money.
It on PlayStation, then you can actually get it free on Game Pass as an Xbox user. I think Xbox
right, and you also might get
yeah.
more games because there's more cash going around.
Yes.
Right? Because
you're going to get a better game if they can make more off of it, which is the total opposite of thinking of making a better game to be an exclusive. That sort of mentality is dying out to make this game really good because it's an exclusive and we want to sell a system. Now it's more like, hey, how can we make this game
right?
sell?
And that
everywhere?
mentality, honestly, is so antiquated if you think about it, because it's like, I'm going to make this game amazing because it's only going to be on one system.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't make any sense anymore.
Well, we have to sell the hardware. I mean, it
but
makes
Michelle,
sense if you have the games like Nintendo fans, and you can do it.
See,
you can't
Nintendo's
do it as
trapped in the
Xbox.
80s and the 90s because back then hardware was so fucking unique and to itself that you couldn't easily port shit. You know,
so now people are saying, "Why do I want to Switch when I can emulate it on my Steam Deck and play Steam games?"
But you can port every game to everything with the push of a button now, so you don't need nothing's so proprietary anymore to make it exclusive. Nintendo's the closest because they add little gimmicky things like they did with the Wii with the motion controls or whatever like that. But even Nintendo's getting away from the gimmicks, really.
Yeah.
I bet you the next Switch doesn't have many gimmicks at all except for maybe a camera. Like, do you think they're going to have some kind of...
I think they are threatened by piracy, and I'm wondering if they're going to try to do something with the game with that. Not that they won't be able to beat it, but yeah, I feel like it will be gimmick light, but there'll be some new thing on it like that.
Well, the cartridge, that's it. That's their anti-piracy
Well,
device.
that doesn't do anything. You just download it. The cartridge isn't. I meant some
Well,
sort
yeah,
of-
people make dumpers like within a fucking week.
Well, I mean, like I said, Paper Mario came out first on PC and it was 60 FPS instead of 30. So you're not, Getting a new Switch isn't going to stop that unless they try to build in something, a reason why you'd want the Switch, some special controller that you can't buy third party.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's usually some gimmick thing.
But you can always emulate that. There'll be some...
The Switch doesn't really have any gimmick because I play almost every single Switch game with the Pro Controller. And by doing that, I'm removing all of the haptics and all of the motion controls and everything. You know, the Switch Pro Controller does have motion controls, but you don't need it for 99.99% of the game. So it's just like no different than Xbox, how I play it, you know?
Would you want it in all of them?
No, because I look back at the Wii with the waggling of the fucking controller, like playing Twilight Princess to swing a sword. I don't want to do that again. Like, do you want to stand up in your living room playing a fucking 60-hour Zelda game, swinging a sword around?
Not
what?
really. No. It's always a little gimmicky. Looking at news here. Don't waste $6,000 on random gaming. Spend it on GameFi.
GameFly?
GameFi. What is that?
Oh, I don't know.
Blockchain gaming. Oh. Okay. Oh.
By the way, that guy we had on, Samson,
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing him everywhere in articles. Obviously,
he's a big deal. Yeah.
I think he kind of is, actually.
Yeah,
Like,
he was just on
like we had him on like just casually, like I'm seeing articles everywhere with him.
Yeah,
like
he's a
he says something and they write an entire article about it.
I know, and he said some stuff on our show, and like a Bitcoin to $1 million or something.
Yeah, he
within
did
a year. So yeah, you can check out that episode. News here, John. Do you really want to talk about Call of Duty publishers sued by the families of a shooting? That's weird.
Yeah, if you want to.
I mean, there's not really much to talk about. I think.
Well, it's irritating to me because.
Yeah.
So, listen. Obviously, the school shooting horrific. Obviously.
You shouldn't even have to preface that with that statement.
I know,
We
but
know.
to sue, they're suing like Daniel Defense, Activision, and Meta.
I think it does a disservice to the horrors that actually went on there when you are doing something like that.
What do you mean? The horrors?
You're trying to make the wrong people pay. The horrors, yeah, the tragedy. Yeah. Like you're lashing out at Call of Duty when, you can't blame it for
right. And the thing is, Daniel Defense is a maker of an AR-15. There's a gazillion makers of it. So it's, Call of Duty featured that brand, but not really prominently. Like I never even knew Daniel Defense stuff was in there. It's just an AR.
Yeah, I mean, knife makers are making knives.
But it's like Forza has a Ford right. Forza's featured a Ford, and someone used the Ford to do damage.
Yeah. It's weird.
I don't know.
I don't support that.
It's logic from like 1990s is basically what it is. I thought we were just beyond this.
Logic. If you want to look into who the parents of the people who did it, if they were minors. And potentially hold them
that
accountable.
Is happening.
Recently, yeah. I mean, we're
the kid that did this shit was 18. I guess the minute he turned 18, he went and got that gun.
Yeah.
But without getting into the details, but the cops just sat around for like 2 hours while whatever the timeline was.
Right.
They didn't go in right away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they knew something we don't. Right. We can't be armchair experts to know what was happening or what they were worried about. But yeah, it doesn't sound good. But suing
something
Activision,
lighter though.
Yeah.
What's that?
Suing Activision, I don't think is the answer. Sorry, something lighter.
Are you going to get the new Zelda Lego sets?
I saw them. They're cute, but no.
And they're expensive. No.
Of course.
I used to buy this shit for my daughter when she was younger, like all the time. And of course, when I do that, it's like me kind of vicariously living through. So yeah, but the Deku tree is fucking $300. This fucking
really?
Zelda thing. Yes.
I didn't see the tree. Let me look at it. I saw something else. That's cute.
But $300 cute? Yeah, listen, I've got some Lego sets in this house.
That's a few Nintendo games, John.
I got like the Harry Potter castle.
Mm-hmm.
I have like this. These are all my daughters, but I bought them for her. Like the some big like giant shopping mall that's like fucking sick.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Like
think
it's literally
shopping mall with Zelda.
What's that?
I don't think shopping mall with like.
No, not Zelda, Michelle. These are
but
these
Harry
are Lego
Potter-
sets I have.
What's
No,
the
the
shopping
Harry
mall?
Potter. The Harry Potter castle, and then also a big giant Lego shopping mall.
Okay.
It's like a mall with stores and whatever, you know.
And how much was the Harry Potter castle? Probably was pricey.
Yeah, let me see what it's going for now.
I don't know. I think that it's pricey for some plastic. I think like $99 probably would have come off a little bit better.
The Hogwarts Castle's $500.
You paid
I don't
that?
know which one. No, I'm just looking. I don't know which one I have though. I mean, it's my daughter's, but they're going for like $125 on Amazon. I mean, on eBay, $255. Whatever.
Microsoft announced spring AI to Xbox. I think we talked about all this other shit. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. Once again, we do thank Mo for joining us. We do apologize for the technical difficulties, but we made it work, John.
We did.
Most importantly, we did answer the question, should you watch The Mummy?
And that's really what we set out to do today.
It is.
So I hope you guys appreciate that.
That's right. And I hope you guys remember to laugh at our show because it's not serious. And that Matt is happy and fine, and he'll be back next week.
That's right.
And I think that's it, John. So find us online at videogameoutsiders.com. You can support us for $1.99 a month, which is cheap.
That is cheap.
You get the back catalog. You get weekly
You can't
bonus
buy
shows.
like a couple Lego pieces for that much.
No. Yeah. No, Mo agreed with me, Gyro. He said that Brendan Fraser wasn't a heartthrob, so I'm kind of on Team Mo here. Yeah. Now you're going to ask Matt next week, is Brendan Fraser a heartthrob? Oh, boy. Yeah, so check us out. Remember, you can come down to twitch.tv/John and Michelle if you want to support us as well with your Amazon Prime subs completely free. You can also support us in Discord. We do a weekly podcast in there at videogameoutsiders.com. And we'll be back next week with something fun. I know Matt's playing Indica. Maybe we'll do an Indie Stink episode or something.
Indie stink.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, John, get us out of here.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, subbing, all that. Video Game Outsiders out.
I'm going south down the Nile. Bad dates, bad dates. I'm going to see the pyramids. How long have they been there? I don't know. Brendan Fraser thinks he's Indiana Jones. I wanna see this motherfucking mummy. I'm in the going down the Nile. Bad dates, bad dates. Before he was Encino Man, now he is the Pyramid Stand. Killing Sky, be Harrison Ford. Oh, is he some washed up 90s guy? I don't know if this movie's gonna be good, but Red Man wouldn't tell me the truth. I had to watch it all alone, and now I'm in motherfucking Egypt. I'm on a boat, going down the Nile. I'm going down the Nile. I'm wearing khaki pants. I'm in the desert looking for my last dance. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, there's no motherfucking Beatles here. I'm in a boat, going down the Nile. Bad dates.